also very scary, okay? You got to look out for mail thieves because they're out there. I'm going to hop behind my computer right now, show you a criminal complaint filed this week in federal court in Brooklyn against a man who was stealing stimulus checks, all right? Over $12,000 worth, according to some reports familiar with the situation, all right? All right, so here's the complaint. United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, United States of America against Feng Chen. So what have we got here? April 28th, a couple of NYPD cops were on duty, Sunset Park neighborhood of Brooklyn. All right, they see the bad guy, Feng Chen, discarding a mail envelope on the street. Apparently the first cop had worked in the financial services industry before. He recognized the envelope as the kind of envelope that would contain a credit card or a check. I mean, you would probably be able to recognize such an envelope too as well. They kind of have a distinct look. Anyway, bad guy, Feng Chen, walks up to a closed medical office and starts to look through the medical collection bins. Shortly after that, he walked to a nearby building and starts going through the mail left at the door. Then he walks into the gated area of a different residential building. Okay, so by now, the cops know something is up. All right. Now, at this point, the bad guy, Feng Chen, he notices one of the cops, okay? He starts freaking out, says he throws the mail onto the sidewalk. This is when the two cops get out of their car and approach him. They say, "We're police," and they start questioning him. And this guy starts lying through his teeth, all right? First, he says he was delivering food to someone in the building. Then it says that he was waiting for someone he knew in the building. And finally, he says that he lived in the building. So this guy tells three very bad, bald-faced lies in the span of probably just a few minutes. Not a very good liar, okay? So apparently he gives up lying and tells the cops his real name and date of birth. The cops put his information into their database. They learn that he has an open warrant for identity theft, okay? Then the first cop saw a big old bulge, a big, beautiful bulge in his pants. Just kidding, in his jacket, okay? And he saw what appeared to be checks. All right. The cops then arrested the bad guy, Feng Chen. They searched him. And what did they find? They found 9 stimulus payments, 9 economic impact payment. You do the math. Stimulus payment is at least $1,200, right? 9 times 1,200, that's $10,800. I've seen in other reports that the amounts were over 12,000, right? Because some stimulus checks are for more than 1,200, right? Like if you're married, 2,400. If you have a kid, extra 500, right? Also, credit cards, open envelopes and letters, all bearing different individuals' names and mailing addresses. Cops got the chance to speak to 2 of those stimulus check recipients, and they both said that Feng Chen didn't have their permission to have their mail or their stimulus checks, okay? Now, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Feng Chen's mail thieves, all right, out and about across the country right now, knowing that these stimulus checks are going out, okay? And I share this not to scare you, but just to let you know, hey, this is happening, all right? And what's the best way to prevent mail theft from happening to you? It's to check your mail frequently, okay? And especially don't let mail sit overnight. Vast majority of mail theft happens overnight. So don't let your mail sit overnight. When did this happen? Let's see. Okay, early morning, right? I don't know about you, but the mailman's never come to my house in the early morning. He comes in the afternoon. So if mail was sitting there in the early morning, I don't know, 6 a.m. or something, it had been delivered by the mailman or the mail lady the previous day, but no one picked it up, right? Would have gotten their mail the previous day, this guy wouldn't have had the chance to go through it in the early morning the next day or in the middle of the night, as some cases may be. Now, I'm not saying that mail theft doesn't happen in broad daylight. My dad was telling me the other day that he caught a mail thief in his neighborhood, the neighborhood where I grew up, in broad daylight. While my dad was taking one of their dogs out for a walk, and the guy said, "Hey, I'll shoot your dog," or something like that. Anyway, not saying it doesn't happen in broad daylight, but the majority of cases will happen overnight in the darkness of night for obvious reasons. So check your mail, check it frequently, and especially don't let it sit overnight. Also, you can put a hold on your mail if you know that your neighborhood is especially susceptible to mail theft. you can put a hold on your mail. It'll sit at you at the post office. Okay, now, with all the drama going on with the post office and everything going on in the world right now, look, there might be some delays, right, with you getting your mail. Okay, you're not going to get your stimulus as quickly, obviously, if you can just pull it out of your mailbox and then deposit it, right? If it's going to go sit at the post office, okay? But just know that that is an option and it's free for up to 30 days, okay? Of course, the Get My Payment tool isn't working perfectly right now. You may not even know when your check is going to come, right? So you kind of have to strategize around that, but there are pros and cons to doing that, okay? Want to share this story with you guys because I think it's important. All right, back to the next update. Okay, next thing, anecdotally, I have heard that if you're having problems with